Hi, hello, it's Pip here from queenpipcards.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card. This card is using Postcard Pals, which is an often overlooked stamp set in my opinion in the catalogue, and we're going to use this cute little platypus stamp here to send a card that matches with a box, which I'll show you in a moment. And I just want to show you how you make this using the new stamping blends, some of the new colours from the stamping blends, and how you can take something that, you know, maybe is a bit Christmassy and turn it into something completely different, because this paper at the back here is actually from the All Is Bright Christmas catalogue paper set. So let me show you where it is. It's on page 49 of the catalogue, because I don't know what I've done with my stamp set, it's disappeared somewhere. So you can see you get the platypus and you get the little otter and you get the pelican with a fish in his mouth, which is fantastic for mail cards. So it has loads of great sayings, just a little note to say, and then inside you could put whatever you want, or you can pair it like I have with "You're totally awesome in every way," which would work brilliantly, I think, for a nephew or a niece or a son or daughter or something like that, or your partner, whatever. Or you could do just a little note to say, "Be your wonderful self." So, that's cool. Or you could say, "Be your wonderful self because I love every wonderful thing about you." So you've got lots of mix and matches. But the thing I like is it's also got sending birthday wishes, hope your day is filled with fun and lots of happy surprises. So it's good for birthdays too. So you can do lift up cards, love you cards and birthday cards all with one set, with three gorgeous little animals that are hand drawn, which I just think are beautiful. So that's Postcard Pals, and it's on page 49. And it's a red rubber stamp set. Let me put that away. So you mount it on your clear box, or you can choose to have wood mounted if you want. That's your choice. Right, so I'm just going to chop my cardstock up. First of all, you need to start with a piece of crumb cake I use here, and I'm going to bring that down, try not to get too much reflection on it for you. There we go. So you need to have this at 14.9 centimetres, or whatever you use to cut a piece of American size cardstock in half. It's not going to be the same because our cardstock isn't the same, but there you go. So then you fold that in half. One of these days I'll get to know how to do those two together. I'm going to whiz my little whirligig round and get mine. I know that it's only 11 inches tall, and I think it's 8.5 wide. So it would be whatever you do to chop that in half. Make sure you found your front. Then you need to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock, which I have pre-cut. And I've used this time the second layer down as I would normally on a mat, which is 13.9 by 9.5. And then you see this is the All Is Bright papers, so if you wanted it Christmassy you'd have it this side, and if you don't want it Christmassy you can have it this side, and it works well either way. And that piece I have cut down to 6 centimetres by 10.5, so I'm just going to do that, showing you a bit of chopping and cutting. So lots of people ask me how to use the trimmer when they first get it. They don't understand. The important thing to note is that this is your cutting line, so this is where you're measuring from. So you put your paper into your trimmer and you're measuring across this way. Okay, so the DSP needs to be 6 centimetres. So, oh, this is very mucky, sorry. I need to clean my trimmer, that'll be another video. So I come over 6 centimetres like that, and that's my cutting line. I'm going to turn it that way, I want the squiggles to go the other way. Okay, so that's my cutting line, and then I just cut that up. You can lock it into place as well, so this won't move. And then this way round, it needs to be 10.5 centimetres, which is the entire width of the card. So I'm going to go all the way over to 10.5, just here. Okay, and then cut up. Now I always cut up if the cardstock is here. I never drag it down because that tendency is to pull the card as it goes with it. You can use the other side, so you could use the bottom down here. So you can position it here just as well, because there's a measuring grid here, and here you would pull the you'd pull the blade down this way. Okay, so again, if you push it up from here, you're going to be pushing the cardstock up as you go with it. So that's just a tip in terms of how to chop up your paper. Okay, so, you know, I know that seems really basic to some people, but some people are new to me here, which I'm very grateful for you finding me and joining me here today. And, you know, some people are new to the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, so they don't know how to use it. So I just thought I would add that in today. Because this one, it's not going to be a very long video today. I try and keep them short, as you know. So this one's going to come in, and I went right to the side, right to the very edge of the card. So there's no overhang. No overhang, but also no cardstock showing through that way. So that's that. And then we get the colouring pens out. Okay, so I'm going to pull these out. Now I have here quite a large, noisy selection of pens. You probably don't need this many if you want to just get started. You could just pick yourself one of each of the colours, but to get some really good tone, it's nice to have two colours, because then you get the blending, which is what these are designed for. So we're going to do some blending now, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so the first thing you need to remember is that you always use a Memento Tuxedo Black water-based ink pad when you're using Stampin' Blends, just because it stops the inks merging and going all kind of yucky. You don't want any yucky on your card. And then we're going to pop him down. I think I did him a bit too far that way, so I'm going to pull him over this way a bit more this time. There we go. Make sure you get into all the detail. You don't have to press down particularly hard, you just have to make sure that it's soaking up the ink. There we go. Yeah, I think he's in a better place there. Better position, should I say. Okay, so that's him stamped, and he's now dry, and now you can go in and you can start colouring. Some of this I will speed up, but some of it I want to give you an idea about shading. So obviously the biggest shading we're going to be doing is on his body and on his coat. So let's start with his body. So we've got here the light crumb cake and the dark crumb cake. Okay, so they come always in a pack of 2, apart from the colour lifter, which I'll talk about in a minute. So they always come in a combo, and an ability to get 2, but you can buy them individually. So if you wanted to, you could just buy the light and then go over and over and make it a little bit darker as you go, or you can buy the 2 together. What I like about that, the fact is that you can buy them separately, is that if you get carried away with your crumb cake and draw and draw and draw and draw, and this one runs out, you can buy this separately, and you still don't have to replace this one, you just replace the one that's gone. So they last, you know, these ones have lasted me over a year now, or nearly a year now. We got them last November, and I've used them lots and in classes, and they're still going strong. So I tend to start with my dark. Okay, that's just a personal preference, and you have 2 ends. So you have a brush tip end and a bullet tip end. Okay, and they are tight because you need them to be tight to stop the alcohol evaporating, because they are alcohol markers. So I start with my dark one, and I just follow the lines of where the stamp has already given you some ideas of where it needs to be darker. See, they've done these extra bits of line. So this one down his tummy, these bits under his face. Okay, and that's pretty much where the dark bits are. Yeah, a few dots, that's about it. So that's all I do with my dark, and then I go back in with my light. And I go back in with my light brush, because I'm going to be covering a large area just with strokes, and that's all I'm doing, just stroking it. Okay, and as you can see, the more I stroke, the more the colour blends together, and you don't see any graduation lines between the 2. So stroke down his tummy. So I'm just going to do that for now, and this is just the stroking motion. Okay, and you can be really quite light with this. Now, when you need to come to some pieces that you need to get in tight, like behind his eye here, then you go to the bullet tip and just make sure that you've got those in and edges in perfectly. Okay, and you can go back again to do his hands. But if you do long strokes like this, A, they'll blend, and B, you're not destroying the tip of your brush. Okay, you don't want to be grinding them or anything like that. When you do circular motions, you might hear about people doing circular motions. They're talking about the bullet end, and they're talking about doing circular motions like this. So I forgot, I missed off a couple of dark bits here, didn't I? There, there and there. And see, you can go back in with the dark afterwards and it kind of just blends in, but if you want to blend it a bit more, this is when you can go in with your circular motion if you want to, but always only with the bullet tip end. And that's pretty much it, really. There you go. So that's him done, and now I'm just going to colour the rest so that we can finish the card off, but I'll speed it up so that you don't have to watch me do that. Okay, so then the final thing that I did, which you probably will want to do, is I put a line here along the bottom of my platypus in grey, just to ground him. It just makes him feel like he's actually standing on something. And there is actually green grass here, which you could put some small tufty bits like that if you wanted to. So yeah, so that's how I kind of grounded him to the edge of the bottom of the. Otherwise he looks like he's floating. He needs to be grounded in some way. So that's how that works. The colour lifter, should you make a mistake or go over something the wrong way, then you can just use the colour lifter very gently to push the colour back to where it was, to where you wanted it to be. So you can just take the edge off. And it works best the drier your ink is. You can also use it to create highlights. So if I wanted to create a highlight on his nose, I could add a bit of colour lifter in there. And it just, can you see that? It's just lightened up a part of his nose. See that? So it just takes it. So it's great for doing you know, light shine on baubles and things like that at Christmas. Colour lifter is great for that. So, oh, sorry, noisy. Put all those away. Now I'm just going to stamp the sentiments and we're done. Pretty much what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Call Me Clover ink. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. So, this is one of the ink colours from this year, 2018 to 2019. No, 2018 to 2020 even. And I'm just going to come over so I can see, make sure that's the right way up. It is. So I line up my paper and my stamp, hopefully. Oh, I can't really see this one. I'm winging it. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, breathe again. So now I've got my card base. I've got that, and now what I need is my 1 1/4 punch. No, that's my 1 punch. My 1 1/4 punch. Here we go. And we're going to stamp the "You're awesome in every way" on there. And that I don't need to worry about being lined up because I'm just going to stamp it and then I'm going to punch it. So as long as it's kind of in the middle, that should be fine. So then here, it'll be easier if I line it up this way. So I'm just lining it up to make sure that I get the Y's in. So as long as both, so if you look at the top of the Y here and here, and the bottom of the I and the dot there, get those in place. There we go. And that's your circle. And then I did a little scalloped square with the scalloped square dies from the layering square dies, and I just thought I'd put the circle on there for something different, or different for me anyway. So, and can you see here that the colours come through the back? This is totally normal, don't panic about that, that's exactly as it should be. Alcohol, basically what happens is the alcohol in the ink, in the pens, soaks into the paper and creates a more mobile state, shall we say, for the ink to flow through, and that's what allows it to blend. So the wetter the paper is, the more it will blend. So the more you put down ink, the more it blends with ink that you add to it. The only thing I would say is just to be a little bit careful, because the more it kind of spreads, so it won't, obviously, like any kind of liquid, it doesn't necessarily stay in one place. So if you do a lot of blending, it can sometimes go over the lines, so just be careful about that. But then you've got your colour lifter, which will help push it back into the lines, but it will push it over the lines to start off with. So that's that. Then I did I need some more of these. I think I say that every time I do a video. Oh, I need more dimensionals. You can never have too many dimensionals. Okay, so then I just popped 3 on the back of that, because you know me, no saggy middles here, apart from my own. And then that just pops in there, like, make sure you get it straight. Oh, come on, Pip. Like that. There you go. So you are totally awesome in every way, and I made that card to match with this box. So again, I've done exactly the same image on the front here. It's one of the new, this uses the Hope Your Day is Filled with Fun and Lots of Surprises stamp. So it uses the new Baker's boxes, which are in the catalogue. No point trying to open it, Pip. You've got a belly band on. Take the belly band off. So you can see they're see-through. You could put a cupcake, you could some cookies, or biscuits, or fudge, or, you know, a gift. Could be something beautiful. Could put a bauble in it if you wanted to for Christmas. And then I just put a little belly band around it, and then made a matching card. And I decorate it with some rhinestones, but you know how to do that. So there you go. So that's the platypus. I like the platypus very much. I think he's fun. I think all of them are fun. And then this one is the otter, and this is done with watercolour pencils instead. Again, using the All Is Bright card paper pack, and this time I've used the Timeless Tidings to turn it into a Christmas card. So you can go, you don't have to just limit it to birthday or love or, you know, sending happiness and wishes. You can also use it with another stamp set and turn it into a Christmas card. So there you go. I hope that that has given you something to think about for Postcard Pals, which is, I think, a very underestimated stamp set. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've had fun. Come back again soon, and I will put all the details and all the description, etc., into the description in the video below. Thanks ever so much for watching. Take care now. Bye bye.